By the way, are you guys excited? Real quick, are you guys excited for the Apple VR glasses?
No, I have
Not
no use for
really.
them.
I don't understand the benefit. What I don't understand what these are.
They're mainly for gamers. For when you want to play mobile gaming. They basically put you in the environment that you are in, and everything looks very real. Like if you were looking out of them, you were
But they're talking
basically
about it like
placed.
you can use it outside of gaming now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
you
supposed to do
can.
like map directions, I think, right?
Yeah, supposed to do like map directions. If you go to a store, it kind of shows you how it would look on you, and if you go to a house, you can basically place it to where how your furniture would look in there, and all kinds of shit like that. It's just crazy, man. That I could do.
And yeah, and you can
Uh,
get notifications on your glasses and it's connected to
I
your
mean, yeah, I mean that's how the Google Glass was back in 2000, what, 14, 13
15 and
around
then
there,
all the way
maybe.
to like 2017 or 2018.
But
I
that's the
just don't
thing,
see the
though.
point. But again, they're entering into a market where it's very popular. So, hey,
But
can you
the,
imagine
the
voiceover on your glasses?
the thing with that is it's kind of funny because Google came out with Google Glass at the time,
And they got
and
rid of it.
they got rid of it because consumers weren't ready. They just weren't ready for it
You know,
Well,
it's
because
funny
every
because I think Google came too early to that, and
yep,
I think Apple's coming too late to that.
yep.
I don't know that they're coming too late. I think they're
There,
coming
there,
right in the middle.
there's already a few of them, and I think like because from what I heard, it's getting delayed again, right? They haven't even mentioned them yet.
They it rumors are saying that this is what they're going to look like and this and that. It could be coming, but this is like the cat and mouse game they played with AirTags all the way back in like 2017, no, 2018, 2019. AirTags 2020, nope. October 2020, nope. 2021, okay, yes. So one of the problems is like the Microsoft VR glasses, the headsets. They're huge, they're bulky, and they're also $3,200. So I think what Apple can do right now, if they did come out with this, is you know what Apple is all about. We want thinness, we want no bulkiness, no this, no, and they are a very good company
Simplicity.
for that. If you touch an Apple product, you know it's an Apple product. You don't have to. Is it a Microsoft? And they can. The Apple, for some reason or another, tends to set the standard a lot. Look at the phones with the no charging brick. How many ads did Android and did Samsung and all these guys make? Look at Apple not shipping bricks. We're
Well,
not going to ship
actually,
bricks either.
it started with the headphone jack. Actually,
We did,
that's
and
what
they
it
made fun
started
of them.
with.
And they're like,
Yeah.
well, why would you get rid of that? And all of a sudden,
A couple years later, Samsung did it, and it's kind of funny because as soon as they did it, they deleted that slogan that they had on their website because it was like people were giving shit about it, and like they even created memes and shit about it. But I mean, honestly, even another thing that was actually came out, and I think it could have became really popular, but they sucked at marketing. It's the spectacles from Snapchat.
oh
Those
yeah,
could have really caught on, but the marketing Snapchat did was just not there. So
no, exactly. But if you look at Apple, if they come out with a pair of glasses, and the cheapest pair right now you can get are 1,200, 1,200, and Apple says screw it, you can get them for the like 300 to 500, just like an Apple Watch. They're now going to set the standard of pricing, and they're going to say, well, look, these look great, they feel great, they're not heavy like yours, they're this, they're that, the connectivity is great, and then companies are going to have to
Well,
compete
I
because
think the
VR is
issue
like
with
that
I
right
think
now.
the issue with
It's
that is that
bulky, it's
sorry, go
pricey.
ahead.
No, I was just saying it's bulky, it's pricey, it's just no. And people are when if Apple does do this, they could possibly set the market.
can I say something about them setting the standards for stuff?
Sure.
It's kind of crazy to me because I don't know if you guys remember, but before the iPhone 10 came out, phones were not in the thousands. They got up to 800, 700, and stuff like that. But as
Yeah.
soon as the iPhone 10 came out, it was at 1,000 something. And of course, it was Apple, so consumers went to go fucking buy them like they always do. And after that, every other phone manufacturer was all like, "Oh, consumers are okay with paying thousands. Well, we can do that too." So now every flagship phone that you see is now 1,600, 1,500, and it was all because of Apple, and at the same time, the consumers that the prices have been raised on these phones, and of course, Apple did set the standards for that.
I wanted to say something real quick about the virtual glasses. I feel like Apple is. Sorry, I don't know if you heard that
Yeah,
car.
Sounds like a good engine.
But anyways, those. I think Apple is trying to get into a market that they have failed to get into before with these VR glasses because they're trying to get in the gaming market, right? Where they had to compete with other, technology companies that focus on gaming. I believe, I'm not too sure, but I believe Sony also has some VR glasses.
Yeah.
sorry
So,
about that.
so we all know that Apple's products like their MacBooks are good. They've increased their graphics performance or whatever. But their problem is that these developers don't make games for them. They're not, all the games are on the Windows side of things. And it's, I'm pretty sure these MacBooks could handle those games, but they're not compatible. And I think that's Apple's issue, that they can't get into that gaming market. They're having issues with that. And I don't know if that's what these VR glasses are trying to do. But I don't know if that is what the case. Apple just doesn't have good games, I don't think.
Well, it's also the developers, but there's a lot of testing. Jesus, I'm not sure if you've seen this, but a lot of people have tested games on iMac, on MacBooks, and all that. And the MacBooks, as well as they are made and as pretty good as the power is in the M1 and the M1 Pros are, the M1 Max, they can't keep up with the games. The screen starts to get grainy, it starts to get laggy, and sure, you could say that's a developer thing. I think that's more an Apple thing, and they do have a problem. Like you have Android, they don't have a thing like FaceTime. They have this Hangout thingy, they call it. It's not even popular with Android users. And so every company has their issue. Apple with gaming has the issue where iPad, there's games for iPads every day, and the iPads are made for games. A lot of it, they are. And that's not the only thing they're made for, but I'm just saying they are. The MacBooks aren't. And I think what Apple understands is it's going to take us forever because they're trying to get the Apple TV into gaming too. I don't know who would use an Apple TV for gaming. I'm serious. Someone in the comments, correct me if I'm wrong, because I probably am. But they probably understand that they're not great on the gaming market. So they're probably saying, we also need to tie this to our Apple ecosystem. A, so people will buy them. And B, so that when they notice they suck at gaming, hey, there's other cool features.
Yeah, but as you said, the cheapest one's 1,200 right now. I don't know if that's actually the cheapest one, but if we say that
somewhere, yeah.
If we say that Apple prices their things at that price range as well, I don't know that many people that would buy it just to use maps.
Well, but they're saying that you can do most of what you can on your iPhone with your glasses because, and I read this on Bloomberg's reported it, Wall Street Journal's reported on, everyone's reporting on this, that people are starting to kind of ditch the phones and go, why can't I wear something and use it? So I think Apple's thinking, hey, why don't I let you do everything you can do on a phone with a really cool feature in VR and do AR and the machine learning and all of that on these glasses? And that's where I think Apple has an edge because, like Jesus said, they set a phone at $1,000 and everyone went, Apple, you're so crazy. Oh, consumers are buying it. I think Apple could set the standard here and go 500. And now Microsoft and Google and Sony and all these other guys and developers are going to go, holy crap, we now have to make even if they keep their $1,200 products, now they kind of have to change the design a little bit to be less bulky. If they don't do that, they're going to have to change the pricing a little bit, maybe create a $700 minimum, a $600 minimum, just to get competitive with Apple. That's the biggest thing there. Now, do you guys think if Apple didn't set the standard with the $1,000 phone and maybe the watch and all that, do you think if, like, let's say Samsung came out and their new phone came out before the iPhone 10 did, and it was set at $1,000, do you think people would be? Do you think people would be scrambling as fast to do it, or is it because it's Apple that they're yay, and then do you think it would have the same ripple effect across the tech industry like Apple does whenever they set a standard?
No, it wouldn't. I think people would actually be outraged about $1,000 price point on a Samsung. I think a lot of the things that Apple do, a lot of people just let fly, and since it's Apple, because there's a lot of fanboys out there, a lot of Apple fanboys, and that unfortunately they don't even know too much about the product. They don't know what it comes with. They don't know much about the software. They don't know anything about the hardware. But the fact that it has that Apple symbol on it, it's what's making them go to it. And unfortunately, that's a lot of the consumers that actually buy iPhones.
And it's a smart marketing brand. Brand.
I kind of had to disagree with you guys on that.
Okay.
Because I feel like companies always try to find an excuse to make more money. So I feel like if Samsung made their phone $1,000, I'm pretty sure Apple would try to make their phones $1,000 because someone did it. Someone already did it. So normally the first person to do it gets all the like negative views or whatever, and then everybody's just free to do it as well.
The question is, why doesn't anybody do anything? Why does nobody make a move until Apple does? Why does everybody stay in the same hole until Apple moves and then they move?
Well, it's like this. Androids had 5G first, right? And then Apple got 5G. It's not that Apple does things always first.
98% of the time they do. And but the thing is that a lot of these companies, they release a product like this and then they come out horrible. Look at the watch. They found out, Apple's coming out with a watch. Samsung comes out with the watch and it crashes and burns because it's horrible. It was slow. It was laggy. It was plasticky, most like their others. And guess what? Apple came out with the watch and blew them out of the water, even though if you looked at the Series 0 Apple Watch, it was horrific. It was awful. One of the worst watches I've ever seen. The processor was incredibly slow. It was laggy. It wasn't responsive. It was the same as them. But what me and Jesus are talking about, Jose, is, okay, you're right. One company does it, another company is going to do it. But it seems like if Apple says, this new iPhone's worth $1,500, Apple does it, it's like, yay! It's the consumers, the customers that, okay, fine, Samsung did it first, but the customers aren't gonna clamor for those Samsung phones like they will for an iPhone, like they will for an Apple product.
No, I'm not saying they will. What I'm saying is, if one company does it, it gives all the other companies to do it as well. I think. What if
Samsung has to take it back because, nobody really bought our phones, but the minute Apple does it, everyone's buying it in their mama, and that's why these companies, they don't just go by what the company does.
Yeah, but
not like that. They go by what the market does.
The thing is, if Samsung did it and it sold relatively well, that would give everybody an excuse to do it. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying that it's because it's Apple. I'm saying because Apple did it and it was successful. If the iPhone 10 crashed and burned, I don't think we would see prices that high, even if it was just Apple who did it. So I'm not saying it's the reason that it was Apple who did it first. I think it was Apple who did it first and succeeded.
I mean, it's also with the
so if Samsung did it first, so if Samsung did it first and succeeded, then I think we would see the same thing where everybody else is.
Now the question is, do you guys see it as it would be successful if Samsung did it, or do you guys think it wouldn't be as successful?
I think companies would eventually go through with it anyway. However, I don't think it would be as successful because Apple prides itself on the customer. Samsung, they act like they do. And the thing is you need people, fanatics, like Jesus said, that, I can't tell you how many times people will just bring out an iPhone because it's an iPhone. People just love Apple for some reason. And that's what Apple wanted all along. Steve Jobs made that happen because it's like, you have a nice Apple product and it has an Apple sticker, or you have this and it's Apple and it's this, and it's just this crazy symbol, and they're getting into the identity politics and all kinds of crap like that.
Yeah, well, I don't disagree.
So I just think that Apple I think the other companies would be successful, sure, but I don't think it would be at the level that when Apple does it, then it's successful.
Yeah, I don't disagree with you that Apple has done great with their branding and marketing. I think the only thing I'm saying is, if a company does something and it's successful at doing it, other companies will follow. Doesn't necessarily mean, doesn't matter what company it is. Like let's take just the technology out of it. If some company did something in a different market and it was successful, other companies would do the same.
Um, it's kind of funny because when Apple removed the headphone jack, everybody was so outraged and all that
Yep.
stuff. But at the same time, as far as they were outraged and all that stuff, it only took about what I would say 6 months for this to calm down, and then people started getting AirPods, and then AirPods became these popular status symbol kind of headphones, kind of earbuds that you had in your ear. That if you had AirPods in your ear, you were just, I guess you could say, you were dope. You were coolish. You were like the top motherfucker because you had AirPods. You didn't have any headphones anymore. You didn't have no cables hanging down. Like if you had headphones on your under your shirt or wherever you had them, like they would look at you like, what's wrong with you? Even though it was just 6 months ago where it was okay to just have headphones on you, and people didn't look at you like that. Yeah, there was Bluetooth headsets before that, which I was using Bluetooth headset before they even removed the headphone jack. But most people would just use regular earpods or skull candy, the little, $10 skull candy that you can just get anywhere at Target, and now you see somebody like that, like, what the fuck, did you go back to the 80s or what? So I think it became a status symbol after, because Apple has always been a status symbol.
Yeah.
Always has been, before when Apple just started, anybody who had an iPhone, it was a status symbol that you were well off. You were you were pretty stable economically, you were rich. I wouldn't say rich, but you were pretty well off. So and now I think that status symbol that people used to see Apple as, even though it's no longer that because everybody and their mom has iPhones now, it still continues to be one of those big things that
cool
it's that kind of like secretive club that Steve Jobs gave to people. Like, you have an iPhone, you're cool, you can do this with an iPhone. It's so amazing that to this day people are still viewing it as, even though it's not anymore.
Well, and he remember that commercial 1984, 1985, something like that. Think different. You're the, what did he call it? The misfits and all of that, because we're thinking if we are different, we're being different. And I mean, look at 1976 when computers were computers. You weren't a average consumer with a computer. You were a nerd. You were a tech engineer, or you were some kind of guy like that. What Apple, I think, had Apple not come about, we would not have, that would still be the thing today, because computers were giant as a damn motherfucker to use, and they were as big as a room. And then, even though you had the smaller ones, the way Apple engineered its computers was way different, and that's why companies started competing more and more. I think they do improve competition a lot. Maybe not these days, but they made it cool for a mom to have a computer, for a dad going to the office to have a computer, for a kid using a computer from, you know what I mean? Whereas before it was like, are you a nerd? Oh, you're an engineer? And Apple did do that, where it was like, you can use a computer and you don't have to be a nerd. You don't have to be a tech guy. You can be a mom of 3, a mom of 2. You can be a dad just working. You could be just an average kid. And I think that's what the computer world needed at the time. And that's what Apple kind of continues to do to this day. You're cool if you have Apple. And I think with Samsung and I mean, Google is kind of the same way too. People like Google, even though they're in bed with the Pentagon and all of that. But Google can kind of get away with it where Samsung can't. Oh, damn, you have a Pixel. Oh, wow. And I mean, there you are. So now, Jesus, I heard you have to go.
Yes, I do have to go. I have to attend some business. I'm a
Busy.
very
You're
busy
great,
man,
huh?
so
All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I give a round of applause in your homes and your cars and all that to Jesus. Thanks for coming on the podcast and for informing us and giving us your take.
yeah, for sure, man. I really enjoy doing these tech podcasts. Sometimes, I make up what I can, and like they say, fake it till you make it, bro.
Make it till you make it
So
and shake it.
shit.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for coming, Jesus.
All right, then, for sure. Well,
Later.
you guys take care, for sure.
All right.
Signing off.
All right. I love how his name was Vapor Savage.
Oh, I know.
I knew he was gonna do that. And yours is just Jose. His is Vapor Savage.
It's weird though, because on my screen it showed up as Jesus.
Did it?
Yeah, right there where it says like the participants inside the stream.
Yeah, because I was on the phone. It said Vapor Savage too.
That's interesting.